right, all right. Welcome to another show of A Father's Note, where we promote fathers through building men. I'm going to tell you, I am so happy to be here today just to have this conversation with you regarding the legacy of this young man here. Yeah, I call him young. Yes. My father. I'm telling you, I'm excited. But before we go there, I have to do this. No question about it. I have to do this because without this, I just promised myself that this is something that I would definitely always do, and that is to promote my mother's book, Diary of a Virtuous Wife. Yes, how to live with infidelity and win doing it God's way. This is a great book. I'm telling you, you will want to get this. It's no doubt infidelity does happen into many marriages. It has destroyed many marriages because it caused a distrust in couples and relationships. But if you want to last, hear what I'm about to say to you. If you want to last 70 years of marriage like my mother did, you ought to get this book. Yes, because it's not just lip service in here, but it's actual proof that she has lived through and walked through. I saw a comment there. Love you too, Pastor Carvel. We're going to get to you, bro. We're going to get to you in a minute, man. I tell you, because we're going to give all the accolades to everyone who has really blessed us through our time of grief and bereavement. But again, Diary of a Virtuous Wife. Let me see. I think I have my wife's cash app here. My wife, my mother. Let me get that right. Where's she at? Okay, there she is. Diary of a Virtuous Wife. You could cash out Rosa B. Nelson. I think they're going for $20. And as I said on the last show, listen, this is years of experience here, right? You pay $30,000, $40,000 a year for a college semester, but you can get greater results to fix your marriage if you're dealing with infidelity for $20. I tell you, it's well worth it. You ought to buy this book, okay? If it's not for you, get it for a friend, or associate, family member. It would definitely benefit them. I promise you that. Okay, so without any further ado, we're going to talk about this. We want to talk about my father's legacy here. Y'all excuse me. I'm trying to buy some time. I'm still waiting on some of my guests to join in. And I think it looked like everybody, some of everybody here. Okay, yeah. Everybody's here. All right. Let me give them applause for that. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to give the applause now. This is going to be for everybody. I want to make sure everybody get this here. All right. And then I don't have to applause when I introduced, so I don't have to introduce, as I introduce my guests, which is my family, I don't have to be doing all the applause and everything, okay? So I'm gonna start with the oldest, which is my y'all know this young lady. I think she more famous than me, you know? Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. My lovely sis, Elaine Nelson. I tell you, God bless you. Love you, sis. Okay.
Hey, brother.
Yes. Okay, I don't know what happened to the middle child between you all, but okay, I come back to her. But I'm going to go to the baby right now. Hello there, beautiful. You got your vocal on? Volume, audio? Oh,
I'm there now.
You there now. Let me tell you something. You was wearing that hat yesterday.
Listen.
You were wearing that hat yesterday. I said, man, nobody can wear it better than when them Nelson sisters died. You were bringing up the rear there. Yes, yep,
I
yep.
was doing one of our mama numbers right
Yes,
there.
you were.
Yes,
Yes,
we
you were. You
were.
were representing. You were definitely representing. Yeah, yeah. I want to say hello to everybody that's tuning in on Facebook. I see you, Mr. Orange. Well, I appreciate that you feel that we're so special that you would tune in tonight. He said he skipped his press summit tonight to tune into this one. Awesome, awesome. Thank you
Awesome.
so much,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you so much. All right, so the middle child has returned, and I'm going to introduce to you all my sister, Roz
Blue.
Nelson. How you doing, love? I'm with your mic.
Hey, what's going on?
It's all great. It's all great. It is all great. Glad to have you. And see, then I have another one, the man of the hour, who brought the word, who spoke over our father's funeral, none other than his grandson, Mr. Tone Antonio Wimberly. How you doing,
How y'all doing? Y'all all right?
man? We better than great, man. Hello, hello. We got a couple of comments here. I'm just gonna let this thing flow however the
Hey,
Lord leads.
cousin.
Yes, yes. How you doing there? That's our family there. It was great. It was great. It was great. I tell you. Well, let me get rid of that. I'm sure y'all about that, but I'll come back to that. Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right. So before we get started, I think it's best that we show all our appreciation to everyone who was responsible, who was there from the very beginning up until the present time, and even those that I believe wholeheartedly will still continue to be there. First of all, I want to give acknowledgement to the Aventura Hospital, the staff there. Now, if I forget anybody, sis, y'all let us know, okay? Let me tell you, the ICC unit, the whole staff there was excellent. They were absolutely excellent. Even when we were making the transition from the ICU to the hospice, I'm gonna tell you, everybody at Aventura Hospital, those we come in contact with, they were very, very wonderful to our family. We certainly appreciate them and you all. I guess I'm speaking for the family, but you all can chime in whenever you all get ready. Please, please feel free to do so. I also want to acknowledge Eric Wilson of Eric Wilson's funeral home. Okay, let me tell you something. They do a fantastic job.
Yes, they
Beautiful.
did. Yes, they
Amazing
did.
job.
They did a wonderful work for our king, for our matriarch,
Yeah.
and I tell you, I'm lost for words with how professional and cordial in understanding that they were. If y'all can help me out if I'm missing words there now, but they were, I'm talking about top notch. So I would say to you that if that time comes, I'm not praying or speaking it that it should happen, but if it do, you want a staff of individuals that would definitely be there for you and support you in such a time, a trying time as when you're dealing with the transition of a loved one. Eric Wilson Funeral Home, hats off to you. Anybody else want to chime in before I continue to go on? Sis, big sis, Lady Elaine.
I thought baby sis was getting ready to say something.
She quiet. She say not now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Concerning Mr. Eric L. Wilson and the entire Eric L. Wilson mortuary family, they were superb from day one. Whatever we wanted, whatever we asked for, and and beyond what we asked for,
Oh yeah.
they were amazing. Took the time to just hear us out, took the time to understand what we were going through and just walk through us with it. And just got out, was asking him about something just then for baby sister and was like, you need us to get up now and go and look and see. No, we could wait till tomorrow, but just tentative, about what we wanted to do. And just excellent, 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 excellent.
So true. So true. Okay, so those of you who may be tuning in don't know who we're talking about this gentleman right here. Our father, Mosby Eugene Nelson. He transitioned on May 9th, 2022 of this year.
May
So
19th.
uh, I'm sorry, thank you. May 19th at 11:30 a.m. I mean, we'll get into some of that conversation of what that experience was like. Before we go any further, I do have a comment here. I want to put this up here so we can say this is from Miss Kimberly Scott. She said, "Your dad would be so proud of you all. I am a daddy's girl, and he passed 30 years ago, and I truly know how your hearts feel. Take it one step at a time. God will give you strength, but I am here, especially my beloved sister, Evangelist Elaine D. Nelson, and family." Thank you for that. We certainly appreciate that. Yes, and as we move on, now y'all can jump in anytime y'all get ready now, okay? And also, I want to recognize Pastor Gaston Smith of Friendship Baptist Church. Excellent, excellent. We thank you for opening up your doors to us, and I'm telling you, the man of God, he brought a fine word, clear for takeoff. Yes, and I tell you, my mom, she just talked about that. I'm telling you, she was just elated by the message, and we thank you so much, Pastor Gaskin and staff. We thank you again, and also to Pastor Mark Hoover and Lady Cooper of Upper Rooms Ministry for them opening the doors to their ministry, to their church, their ministry. We thank their staff as well. Beautiful job. You know, I was looking at the live stream today. Man, excellent, excellent job, excellent work, and we thank you. Thank you so much. I could keep. Oh yeah, let me talk about our God brother, Pastor Emmanuel Carville. Let me give you this up there.
My God.
Man, he did a wonderful job.
Yes, he did.
I tell you, he kept that thing flowing. The interesting thing, it didn't even seem like it was 3 hours. I didn't even realize. I was like, man, it's been a long time since I've been to a homegoing service like this here, 3 hours. And it helped my interest. It helped my, it was good. Everybody done a wonderful, wonderful, amazing work for the Lord and for our King. Okay. Anybody else I need to acknowledge here?
Yes. My face not there. I'm sorry. Hold on, y'all. So I would like to acknowledge Latter Glory Deliverance. I think I'm saying that right.
Yes.
My brother in love and my sister, Pastor Christina Robinson, their church, Latter Glory. Thank y'all. Such an amazing job. I would also like to thank Pastor Tanika Gillard.
Okay, right.
And their church, their staff.
Yes.
Our God brother Eric Snell. Listen, let me tell you something. I made one phone call to Mother Jean Snell. And honey, I made one phone call and she called me 20 times to make sure that everything was like I asked for, like the family asked for and everything.
Right.
And Pastor Tanika Gillard was like, "We have you all. Don't worry. We are there for you. We're gonna do this. Don't you all worry about anything, because we family. We're gonna help y'all. That's daddy.
Yeah.
That's daddy."
Yeah.
So they were, I'm telling you, we just Sister Marissa, let me call her name, Sister and Sister Sabrina Cromati from my church, Sister Marissa from Latter Glory, from Pastor Christina and Pastor Keith Church, Pastor Tanika Gillard, Selena Roll. Those four ladies got together and this, and they did it.
Yes.
And they got together with KD from Eric L. Wilson's home, and they all communicated together. They didn't call me and ask me nothing else. They handled that thing, and oh my God, expertise. even to the fact of that, Pastor Tanika Gillingham, they had something to do at 3 o'clock on that Saturday. They was like, but don't worry about it. We'll make sure somebody's handling that for what we have to do. But we're gonna make sure somebody sit over at the event, the reception hall until Louder Glory is able to come there. They work together. And that's what we should do in the kingdom of God. Work together. Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I appreciate that.
Listen, it's a whole bunch of people. Our sister Kathy. They say I like the fuss, but she say I like the fuss. Kathy, I need you to do this, that.
Right.
No questions asked. Done.
Right.
Our sister Barbara. Done. It's just everybody.
Yeah. I also want to give a shout out to the ministry in which I attend, Spirit of Life Ministries, and Apostle Jonas Clark. I'll tell you, they came through for us as well. Man, let me tell you, I didn't. Well, I should have known, but I'm so grateful for the outpouring of love that was shown to our family overall. And I didn't know Dad had so many children. I'm telling you, I did not know. This man was busy, y'all. He was busy raising children. All right, Ms. Scott put up a comment here. Shout out to the cooks who provided the free delicious barbecue on Friday night. Yes, such love. Love you, Pastor Elder Kimberly Scott. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
That's Tony, people. Tony.
That's Troy's Barbecue out of Palm Beach, Florida.
Wow.
He's one of my good friends. I met in Tallahassee, and he said, "Hey, man, I didn't even ask him. He called me and said, "Hey, let your family know I'm bringing food. I'm bringing my truck, and I'm just gonna feed people until my food run out." And
he did that too.
Exactly. So Troy's
I was just gonna say that.
Right.
We ain't getting no barbecue. It was already gone.
It was gone. So yeah, shout out to Troy's Barbecue and his name Anthony Barber. Troy's Barbecue.
Well, thank you, Mr. Troy.
We're gonna have to take a ride to Palm Beach.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
I've been there before. It's good.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. So let's get into this. Let's talk about the man of the hour. Let me tell you something. The general, our pops, Mosby Eugene Nelson. So let me start with this here. So baby sis, I'm gonna let you start this off. Cause see, what we got, you got the easy side of life.
Yeah, me and Rosalind, we got the easy side of life. We pretty much grew together.
So talk to us about your experience with Dad. What he meant to you.
We were actually talking about that. I think Rosalind was talking about that with Mom. Maybe like a couple of weeks, prior to the transition and everything. And we were saying that Dad, we didn't get whoopings from Daddy. We would get the whoopings from Mama.
Because I got them all.
I talked about one time where I was with Dad. I went to church with Dad. I remember that so very well. Hallelujah. And I went to church with Dad. One day I was sitting by him in church, and I was just talking and playing. Daddy had his guitar. I guess I thought he wasn't, paying attention. But honey, I got me one little peck on that leg, and that was the last time you see that I'm 45 and I still remember that. So, but ever since then, I haven't had any problems. I can tell you, with being the baby, I was definitely treated as such. Daddy was very compassionate with me, very protective of me. And I say that because, and not only me, but Rosalind, because we both were in the house together. We grew up together. But Dad was, he was very played a very important role. He was always in the home. I mean, we knew when he would come in that he would be home,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, I remember those moments, the special things, even though church was a priority in his life and, of course, a part of our lives too, as well, in mom's life. But I can definitely say he took the time out to talk to us, to hold us, to, sometimes it was busy a lot, with church, but he played a very intricate part. In my life, I can definitely say that. My dad allowed mom to really deal with us a lot. He stepped out of the way, and he was just that protector
Right.
as it relates to, his position as a father. And I remember that, and I like something I put in the obituary that I sent out with. I remember him, teaching me how to ride a bike. I remember him teaching me how to ride skates, and I vaguely remember this, but I remember two of I think it was I don't know, was you old? It was the boys, but I remember but you all were older. And I
Mhm.
don't know, I think one time that's when we went to the beach and y'all was throwing people in the water. And I remember that by two hands and by two legs. And honey, they were throwing people. Honey, I cried. I was crying so, and I ran to daddy about that. And then one time they threw, the ditch over there by in South Carolina.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember that too. And so you just remember all of that stuff. But I remember the boys, they were doing me like that, and they would throw us across the bridge and tell the other one to catch the other one across the ditch. And honey, I told on y'all, I sure did. And daddy, dad
Yeah.
did tell me, leave my baby alone. But he was, dad, he would definitely be missed.
Right.
Definitely in our hearts. These were special moments that we always remember.
True.
I think we grow up and we get grown, but daddy is still dad. You know.
So enough. True.
And it didn't matter how old you was. If he had something to say, he would say it. Whether or not we liked it or not, he was very firm. He was a very firm father. So
Right. Right.
yeah.
Right. So let me ask this question, ask you a question, follow question to that, everything that you said. Can you share with us one particular way in which that dad and pops impact you? Can you give us that?
One particular way he impacted me,
Yeah.
I know, and there's so many ways that I can definitely say.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the ways when I'm thinking about it, um, and I put it on a post, that I recently made about the foundation of prayer. And that has been significant. I played a significant part. I mean, I saw Daddy. That's all he did was pray.
Mm-hmm.
He taught us to pray. I remember, even as we were growing up, even though we were younger, and in church, Dad was very firm about it. Seeing him pray for people and people lives changed. This was very significant, and I think all of us talk about it. Those 8 o'clock morning prayers, they were I'm telling you, they were powerful
I
to
think
me.
all of us got a dose of that.
Listen, and even though sometimes, honey, I remember, Rosalind probably can attest to it because me and her grew up in the house together. But I remember, honey, if you was out late at night and you came home 5 o'clock in the morning, you better be up by the time Daddy
I'll tell
say,
you that.
pass me not. I either hear say, amazing grace.
That was the
Oh,
song.
I,
we
I
get up.
caught I caught Auntie Rosin and Auntie Christine asleep a couple of times over there.
On the steps. Listen, we
Right.
get on the
Yeah.
steps. We be like this, like, well, we go up and pray.
I think we all laid on that step
Yeah.
when they
I,
were
And it wasn't no 10-minute, or 5 or 10-minute prep.
no,
And you gonna be there at least half an
30
hour
minutes.
or,
Yes,
or better. And you
30
still
minutes.
had to be dressed and ready to walk out
And
the door.
ready.
Sha says
Tell you.
yes, because she remembered that too.
You see it. Cause let's see. Oh yeah. That's
Oh,
what
Hey,
the night.
Regina say
Regina.
hello. That's what I said. Anybody spent the night, they all know
You gonna get
that
that.
at 8 o'clock you was up, and
You
you
better.
when they said let's pray, you gonna pray. If you was downstairs, you gonna get your pot on that step, and you gonna lay your head down on that step.
Oh, I remember. And let me tell you something. I was talking to Chavis on the other day. He said something that was so special. He said this, he said, Auntie, he said, one thing that I can definitely say, and it was an impact. And when he said that, it really touched me. He said that Dad had authority, and I just want to paraphrase because we were talking,
Right.
but he said Dad knew how. He taught him how to walk in authority. He taught him not to have fear, how to address the forces of the enemy when they came. And he said while he was young, that happened when he was, he understood it. Dad taught the word. So when he got older and became a man, became on his own, he was able to use that same authority that he learned from Dad in his life. And that's the kind of stuff that I can definitely attest to. Those what I learned from our dad was how to walk in authority. And I told somebody today, this is one of the slogans we forgot, Lane, that Dad said. And I was talking to somebody, I think I told Rob that today. I say, Dad said when something would happen, right? Or if somebody would do something to you or something would happen in your life, he would say, okay, so if the dog bites you once, it's the dog's fault. But if the dog bites you twice, then it's your fault.
It's your fault.
And
Yep.
that thing stuck with me. It's been sticking with me ever since then.
Yeah. So okay, let's move on to Blue Lachelle. Talk to us about your experiences with Pops.
So, as Babysit said, we were the last ones in the house, and I had a lot of experience with Papa. Definitely, praying, waking up 8 o'clock in the morning. I can, give it back to them, talking about that. We waking up sleepy, tired, and everything. There was a particular time where that I went and got my hair done, and I had went and purchased the wig. I mean, the weave and everything, and the color was burgundy. Why did I walk in the house with my head with a burgundy weave in there? When I walked in the house, Daddy got on me. Papa was like, "Oh no, you ain't coming up in here with that weave on. Nah, you gonna take that weave out." Man, I went directly in the shower, put my head underneath the shower, and took the weave off. I mean, I just took everything out. I was like, "Oh man, Papa, I can't wear it." No, you're not wearing that. Red lipstick. I couldn't come in the house with red lipstick. All the things that he didn't want us to do. I couldn't do it. But he got on me about that burgundy wig. So I never ever I will always remember that wig, that time. And then also, you know, just basically the foundation there, always being there, always showing us so much love. There was never a time that we would never have to be without because he was always providing. And like Baby Sis said, we knew when Dad was getting home from work. We knew he was coming home from work. And then one thing I'm going to give it back to Mom too. She had this up already. Mom had his food ready at 8 o'clock a.m. on Sunday morning. She had dinner ready on Sunday morning, and our snacks that we had to go down south to Homestead, for church. So, but we knew when Papa walked in that house that he was home and everything was already in position for him. So those are some of the things that I'm grateful for, and definitely, in the ministry having church. And that was another time I can remember. Y'all know, when we were playing in church and stuff, it's two things, it's two signals, two signs that Papa will do. It's either he'll look at you and you know to shut up, or he'll clap his head.
Yep. Sure do. Sure would. Sure
And
would.
we know, oh, y'all better be quiet in the service. But when they clap their hand, boy, I was like, baby sis, y'all stop playing the service. Stop playing.
He didn't like you talking in church.
No talking.
Paying attention. He did not like. I'm gonna, when they come to me, I'm gonna tell my story. What happened to me? But go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
Yeah, no talking to church. So those are some of the memories that I had, with Papa, man. Just making sure that, like I said, he's always been there as a father. He always like had a role model, as a father, and what how we should be treated and everything as, as women, as daughters and everything. So I'm just grateful. Definitely gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss, just calling him every morning, and and Mama answer the phone at 8 o'clock. They know me. They know me around the clock. When Mama answer the phone call, I be like, Mama, what Papa at? He's sitting over there. He be like, is that Rosalind? Put him on the phone. What's going on, Papa? And he just started laughing. So I'm gonna miss those days. I'm really gonna miss those days, those moments, and those times and stuff like that. So
Right.
yeah.
Do you have a particular thing that he did that impacted you?
Yeah, so I was sharing this with I shared this with Mom, and I shared this with, I think, Elaine this morning. And one of the things that impacted me with Papa is that his entrepreneurship. And that's where I get it from. I know Papa, he was a janitor, and he worked for solid waste. And both of those jobs he retired. And not only that, he had his own lawn service.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So with me being, in business as financial advisor, even going through the situation, flying in and staying with Papa a whole week, I just stayed connected to the business because I know that's something that he did. So with him, seeing him, the motivation and him, just keep going and working, that's my drive. Like, he is my drive. He is the one that's basically giving me that power to keep going, you know? So that's what the impact is. And then, like Baby Sis said, just walking it out of third authority, owning, owning what you have, owning and knowing that you can conquer, you can do anything that you want to do. You can do whatever it is that you have in your mind, you can do it. And I mentioned it to sister today, Elaine today, and I said, you know what? Papa give me the courage to just to sing and just sing with faith, because I'm the one that never was, I was like the shy one. Chrissy and Lane always the one out in the front. But when I led that song, LJ, the one that you wrote for Papa, it just gave me so much confidence, because Papa, he grabbed his 12-string guitar, and he didn't care what song he came up with. He sung that thing under the unction of the Holy Ghost and with faith and with confidence. So those are just some of the things that's basically is going to keep me to going and moving forward and just, living, man, and owning what I have, and being grateful. And I'm just thankful that he have instilled the foundation of Christ, believing and having faith and walking in that authority, and knowing, the teaching that he has given us. Even if I felt like detouring, I'm not going to do it, because why? The foundation is there, the teaching is there. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? And then it's like, that's my Papa. So I always got to make sure everything is like, you walk into that authority, and then maintaining that character too as well. So
Yep.
that's very, very important.
Yep.
Having character, having dignity. You understand what I'm saying? So that's my piece.
Okay. All right. Okay, sis, I'm gonna come to you, but let's jump over to your son there, my nephew. Talk to his nephew. What you got to say, man, about your grandpa, as y'all like to say, grandpa.
Grandpa, man, woo, that's my guy. Um, he's my guy because even though I'm technically not the oldest cousin, um, and I'm the second oldest cousin, I just want everybody to be clear about that because Jerry is the first oldest cousin. I'm
Yeah.
just the second one. But my granddaddy, he was that guy who, what I most remember about him is, and I'm going to miss, is he always believed and gave me a chance.
Right. Right.
Um, he
Wow,
he
that's
always
a good point.
he always believed and gave me a chance. He gave me a chance at life. I told Grandpa one day, I said, Grandpa, when he was in school, and I missed the moment when he worked at Broadmoor Elementary, and I thought my granddaddy ran the whole entire school, even though he wasn't the principal. I used to tell people that's my granddaddy, and you can't tell me what to do. And my granddaddy is this, and my granddaddy is that. And I miss working with him. at Broadmoor. I miss working with him. Like even when I went to Madison, I went over there and told him my granddad is at Broadmoor Elementary, and he'll come over here and shut this whole place down. And I told Grandpa one day, I said, Grandpa, I want to be a lawyer. So Grandpa looked at me, he said, who? I said, lawyer. He said, okay. And I came home one day. I never forget it. I came home one day. Grandpa had a white 4-string PV bass sitting on the bed for me, and he had a tape cassette player for the with the Miracle Lights. And he said, now what I want you to do is I want you to learn everything on that seat on that tape player. Don't come out this room until you learn everything on bass on that tape player. And I said, Grandpa, I want to be a lawyer. He said, give me time. I'm gonna teach you how to preach and do the word good. You could be a lawyer for Jesus, but right now I need to learn this instrument. I ain't understand it then. I was like, this man crazy. I was like, but every day it was that moment of like getting out of school, and he was there. I can always say my granddaddy was always present. He was always present, even when my auntie Rosa and my Auntie Christina was there. They helped raise me. Like Grandpa was there. Like he was, even up until now, like every time I've been elevated in church
To
or
tell the truth, you gave your auntie a hard time. I used to have to
yeah,
run you down the sidewalk because you were so
yeah,
bad.
Auntie Christine used to try to after she used to beat me. I never forget that morning. She tried to beat me, and I said, "Grandpa, Grandpa." Every time I would call Grandpa, and Grandpa would come rescue me every time for anything. Like I was like, Grandpa. I was. It was just Grandpa was just that guy. Like he was one of those people you had to experience him, like to know who he is. And I tell people all the time, like even with my wife, she knew. She was like, you raised by older people. I was like, yeah. She was like, you're just like your granddaddy. And I tell people, I am who I am today because of my granddaddy. Like that's who I know. That's who I believe in. Like he's the first guy that taught me what faith is. And I know plenty of times I've never heard Grandpa complain. I've never heard him say he don't have. I always heard Grandpa said okay. And I don't know how he did it, but he had faith that moved mountains. I don't know. That man taught me what faith was. Even if I ain't know what it was, he showed me what faith was. And but what I most like about Grandpa was he was never a numbers guy. He was always a guy, whether it was 10 people, 20 people, 30 people. He was gonna always be consistent every day in his walk. And that's what I really appreciate about Grandpa. Like he never changed no matter the situation. He was who he was, and you had to need to love him. It was impossible to hate him because he was who he was. Like everybody know him. That's Nelson. You gotta love Nelson. But you gotta when you come around Nelson, you got to be living right. You got to be straight. You're gonna do everything, and that's just what it was. I mean, I'm gonna miss him, but I know, everything. We are who he made us to be, and we are who we are today because of him.
So I'm gonna ask the same question to you. Can you give us one thing that he did that impacted you?
Um, Consistency. It was one thing Grandpa did that was and he showed me consistency. No matter what, um, no matter what happened in life, what was going on, even down to his family and to church and to things, even to the ministry. And Grandpa always, one thing that impacted me was that Grandpa was always consistent
Yeah,
in
yeah,
everything he did. He was
yeah.
always consistent. Yeah.
True. I can attest to that, definitely. Hey sis, Lady Elaine. So tell us about your experiences with dad.
Well, being the oldest girl, I'm actually really the oldest. They just gave that title to Lionel. Uh,
We ain't gonna argue about that right now. uh,
um, being the my experiences with dad was just as my sister, as everybody's been saying,
Mhm.
that he was a provider. He was a provider. There was never a time that we didn't want for anything and dad didn't provide it. you know and like they said, he was such a man until I know it was easy for mom to have his food done, to have
That's
to
good.
have his she would iron his clothes for the week. And even when we had to take turns cooking in the house, we all knew by 2 o'clock daddy food better be done,
Mm.
because that was the routine for us, because of the man that daddy was. And I told somebody one time before, they was asking about us being a family that sung and a family that played instruments. I say never one time daddy forced us to do
Never,
any of that.
never.
He never forced us to do any of that. I said, because he made it so enjoyable to do. He made it enjoyable to do. He was a man. He was a man that made sure we had. Now listen, the man would literally stand up in church and say, I'm giving away my children's lunch money. This day lunch money, but I know God go give it back to me. And let me tell you something. By the morning, we had our lunch money. But I thought you just gave it away in church. But we had our lunch money, and we had. I would come home and there was a red Mustang sitting in the yard. Never got a chance to drive it, but daddy told me it was mine. But never got a chance to drive it. Because daddy said what? The Lord told him to give it to somebody.
He, he was a giver.
He was a giver.
He was a giver, giver, giver. And whether go ahead, sis. I don't want to cut y'all because
And
yeah, go
even
ahead.
to even what I had, a 1976 Riviera 2-door. I'll never forget it. This is how my dad was. He bought that car for me, and I'm driving it. Of course, I didn't put no oil in it, and something happened to the transmission or whatever, and it was sitting across the yard. And listen, the brakes was going on it, and I put the miracle lights in it, and we was traveling up and down the road. I came home from school. Dad, where's my car? Oh, I gave it to the other white head. The Lord told me to give it to him. And I said to him, well, the Lord didn't tell me to give it to him. Where's my car? Daddy was a giver. Daddy taught me faith. Him and mom taught us faith. Dad taught love. And I'm like, and even with Tony said, Mom, I'm not putting a whole bunch of people in my house like you did. People just can't come and live. People just can't come and live in my house like you did. I said, I'm sorry, I got that from your granddaddy. Every time we came home, somebody knew what was there.
That's true, Lena. Even when we brought friends home that didn't have nowhere to stay, they wound up staying in the house. That is so true.
Exactly. Even we brought friends home. They
And they
were staying
family
in
to
the
this
house.
day.
It's
Yes.
because that's what we taught. Daddy taught us family. Daddy taught us love. Daddy taught us being together. He taught us that. And I can't help but just be that. Like whatever you got going on, I'm gonna love you. Because that's what daddy taught. He taught us to love. He taught us love. And my thing that I remember, and I think that's the reason I was like I was, because daddy bought me a dog. They bought me a doll baby. And the dog was cute. And I took it down the street to my friend's house. And I let my friends have it. And I came back in the house without the doll baby. And daddy said, if you don't go down that street, they get that doll baby. But I didn't tell him that my friends had jumped me for it and took the doll baby. And daddy told me to go back down that street and whip them children and get my dog baby back. I whipped them and I got my dog baby back. And thus the name Punchy came about. Because I whipped them children and got my dog baby back.
Hey, but see, everybody done shared their time when, when Pops had to get on them. Now, you ain't share yours. You think you're going to get away with it? Huh? No. Come on. I know you had one of them memorable moments.
No, she got a lot of memorable moments. I was going to say it's more than one.
Hey, sis, I can't tell because it seemed like I was getting them all for her. Because if I did what she did, I got it.
Absolutely. That would be the truth. But let's go. I can remember we were at Mother Harris Church. She was Mother Harris at the time, Mother Sawyer, off of 54th Street. And they had the game. It was two things happened at that church that I got in trouble for. They had one of the games, boys chase the girl. Boys chase the girl. So I went running. Some little boy went running behind me after church. We playing right after church. And daddy had the 1956, 56 Chevrolet? Yeah. I can't hear you, bro. What'd you say?
1957 Chevrolet.
1957 Chevrolet.
And
I fell. And when I fell, I scraped my knee and blood was running down my knee. And I got in the back of the 57 Chevrolet and sat down. And daddy was like, "What you doing in here?" I was like, "Nothing." Daddy got on me. He got on me so bad I didn't get a whipping, no, but I got in trouble. See? But I did get a whipping. Well, it wasn't a whip. He took his guitar cord. I was sitting on the front row. And I was a tomboy because I was raised with the boys. So I was a tomboy, and daddy had to told me twice to close my legs. All of a sudden, that cord went whoop, snatched it back. I learned to sit up like a tom girl ever since.
Yeah, we all got a memorable moment. So, in what way did he impact you? Can you give us one specific thing that he did that really impacted you?
I'm like what Tony said, faith, and because he was a provider, faith, right, and God. And can do nothing but just prayer. When things come up that it look like, I don't understand it, I'm gonna go and pray in a minute. So faith, pray, and being a provider of his home, that impacted me.
Good. I want to address this question to you ladies, and it's concerning mom. What has she taught you all as far as being a woman, a mother, a wife, a woman of faith, as it relates to dad? Whoever wants to go first is fine with me.
I would say how to be virtuous and carry ourselves with modesty and to take responsibility as a wife, to care for our husbands in every aspect that we should be. Mom is definitely a Proverbs 31 woman to me. And I can definitely, but one of the things that, and I go back to it again, one of the greatest things that I have seen with mom was her patience and her life of prayer. And she has a spirit of quietness, she taught us a lot, within the home. And sometimes her and daddy used to tickle me when they used to have like their little fun arguments. Sometimes to us it was really funny though, because we used to laugh. Because after they would, fuss a little bit, then they'll start, they'll be laughing. Like mama, daddy will say something really sarcastic to mom, then mom start laughing. So, but I noticed what she would do is that she was quiet. She became submissive and she respect daddy for who he was, and that's something that I can say that has played a major role in my marriage. Mom is a mentor to me. She's my number one mentor, and I give all the credit because how she treated our dad, seeing what she done, is gave me the ability to do the same thing in my home, and I can definitely say she kept a house together,
Oh
you
yeah.
know.
Oh yeah.
She kept the house together. And like Lane and Roslyn was saying, oh, mama didn't play that. We had to cook. We had to clean. Each of us had a week. And she wasn't ironing daddy clothes when we got old enough. We ironed daddy clothes
Right.
when when we got old enough. But she put that back in our hands, and I can definitely say her virtuosity and love and patience and just the quiet spirit she has and patience. So
Ross, what do you have to say?
So, mom, when I think about mom, I think about and what she taught me is about resilience. Resilient.
It's a good word. It's a good word.
Resilient. In spite of everything she through, as she went through, resilient. Patience, definitely prayer. And as Baby Sis said, she taught us how to keep a home. We had house chores. When springtime came, we were taking the screens out and scrubbing them outside. We had weeks. You understand what I'm saying? Mom taught us how to have supper ready on Sunday morning, breakfast, dinner, or lunch. She taught us how to basically prepare our clothes for the week. Mom taught us how to, when you have a doctor's appointment, to be there 15 or 20 minutes early. Wake up early. Mom has taught us so much as um, being a woman, as becoming a woman. When
Right.
you walk out the house, you are to look a certain way. Like people get mad at us, like say, "Oh, this how y'all go to the grocery store?" Yes, there was never a time when you ever caught us with rollers in our head and we wear these. I don't even know what they call them now. These what they
Bonnet.
call them?
bonnets.
Bonnets
Bonnets.
on the head. We will always walk out the house as classy women. And to be honest, I believe it became a target because a lot of people became very intimidated or jealous and they judged us the wrong way. Like we really received a lot of backslash of the way how we carried ourselves, but they don't know that that's something that mom
That's what she instilled.
instilled in us.
Yeah.
So everything that you see that us do, as far as in how we dress, how we carry ourselves as women, it's all because of our mom. You understand what I'm saying? When mom walked anywhere, she commanded that attention. You know, so those are the things that I love about mom. Just her quietness. Definitely her quietness. She was a woman that was not loud, and they say that a woman is supposed to be what seen and not heard. So mama, she definitely instilled that in us. You know, as far as in the ministry, mama, she held her ground as far as in being the mother of the church, the wife of the church, definitely with prayer. You understand what I'm saying? She always took the women in. Like when something was out of place, as far as in your bosom or anything like that, oh, mama, come up with that pen, come on over here. So mama taught us those things. And I appreciate the foundation. I appreciate that. And so that when other people did come into our lives, like other women came into our lives, they became our sisters because we seen how the love that mama had, she just basically, when those women didn't have their mom to show them how to live and show them how to dress and do different things, mom basically showed them. So what happened? When we have other women come in our lives, I'm going to teach them what mom taught me.
Right.
So that's what I love. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say that my wife is a product of my mother. Definite product of it. Yeah, she's really ministered to a lot of women over time. Sis, in Lady Lane, let me ask you this: What impact would you say that mom had on dad's life?
Grace, elegance, submission, poise. She was all of that. Mom is all of that. I can remember because mom was the woman that she is, because mom is the woman that she is. There was a time at church, some gentleman came to church and he needed a ride after church. And dad was doing something, and my dad said, Rosabelle, take so and so and so on home. Give him a ride home. This man said, you're gonna let your wife take me home? And I remember this to this day. My dad said, I trust my wife, but I don't trust you. And that let me know that because of the woman that she is, he didn't ever have to worry about her character. Because her character, her demeanor, and her poise spoke for her in their marriage.
And also spoke for him because she really
Absolutely.
was very supportive of him. Very
Absolutely.
supportive of him.
Absolutely.
I watched her during this whole transition. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Stellar strength
Yes.
that she displayed throughout it. And one of the things that she definitely did was that she certainly gave praise to God. I didn't know exactly what her response going to be, especially after you have been with someone for 70 years of your life. 70 years of your life, and then all of a sudden that they're no longer there. And in so many ways that I'm grateful to what God has done. I believe that God really answered our prayers so tremendously. Uh, what I want to do real quick here, I want to put this number up because if somebody's listening and they want to call in, we're gonna let you. If you want to have some words to say about our general here, Mr. Apostle Mosby Nelson, we're gonna give you a chance to call in and just say a few words. Our time is wind up, but we're gonna just go until I don't know. I guess it's over with. But let me just share. I think one of my most memorable moments, as far as discipline, with Dad, one was when I had to be about 14 years old, and he was preaching. We was running revival, and I remember that moment just like it was just not happening. I think I'm feeling the pain from it right now. I'll tell you. And he was preaching. You know how pops, when you get wind up, he get their hand behind the ear. And I was in the back of the church and I was talking. How y'all talking about that talking? Yeah, and I'm back there talking and playing. And so I noticed him. He preaching, but he coming down the aisle. He ain't missing a line. He's not missing a step or anything. And he like, and the Lord said, ha, da 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 da, ha, bow, and we'll turn around and walk right back. He didn't even stop, man. I got slapped so hard that day, man. I think I had to go pick up my face from the other side of the church, man. He hit me so hard at that. But I tell you, like y'all say, I never talked in church again. I'm telling you, man. But I remember another moment that just came to me. Y'all remember the Harrises, right? We used to go to picnics with the Harrises. So we had a picnic and they had a lake there. And so we call ourselves fishing, right? So Dolores Harris, she's has transitioned. She kept asking me, she said, Lionel. I said, what? She kept asking, what you doing? I'm trying to catch some fish. Lionel, what? What you doing? I'm trying to catch some fish. So then she said again, Lionel, what, Dolores? What you doing? I said, I'm trying to catch me some ML fish. Not knowing what she was trying to do was to get my attention because Dad was standing right behind me. But I happened to turn around. He stood there looking at me, shook his head, and just turned around and walked off. I just knew I was gonna get my behind to him that day, man.
You remember Ella Young, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about one of them cussing moments. So, of course, because of my behavior, I got sent on the beach. I couldn't go to Central.
Yeah.
I really couldn't go to Central because of Lionel.
Wait a minute. Tell the truth. You banned all us from Miami Central. Since you and Lionel, me and Rosalind could not go there anymore. Tell the truth.
What?
They don't want no more Nelsons at Miami Central.
Lionel caused me not to go to Central. And I had to go to Miami Beach.
And you called them not to go to Central.
Yeah, I would. There's no way I would say I was a poster child. There's no way I would say I was a poster child.
So one of those cussing moments, I was on the L coming home from Miami Beach, and somebody was bothering me. And listen, and every other word was a cuss word, and I didn't know Ella Young was on that bus. Christy Goddaddy. Ella Young come back down. He say, praise the Lord. He said, I'm going to your daddy's house. I don't know how Ella Young got off that bus the same time I did and beat me to the house. He beat me to the house. When I got to the house, Daddy was sitting on the porch with Ella Young. Daddy was cleaning his guitar. He said, yeah, I done already talked to Ella Young. I was walking up the sidewalk. He said, yeah, I done already talked to Ella Young. I just went on in the house because I knew I was in trouble. I just knew I was in trouble. Ella Young had that told Daddy every cuss word I said on that bus. Every word.
He was definitely an amazing man. I'm telling y'all, he was big on discipline. He was big on discipline, but he also had a heart of compassion in more ways than we can even imagine. And and as we fast forward to today, and there were several things that I definitely were praying for, things that I know in conversations that I've had with him. And I'm sure that a lot of you can give agreements to it that, he was waiting on the Lord. He was ready. He was ready. No matter how we may have felt, he was ready to go because he had always talked about that moment when he could see Jesus face to face. And I think it's so important that knowing the life that he lived is one thing that Tony said and that you had agreed to as well, Elaine. Two things I would say. He lived by faith and he lived it consistently. He did not deviate at all. I know one of the things though that used to get on, I'm gonna say it just like it's coming to my mind, that used to get on my nerve with him. But today, though, as I reflect back, I'm pretty much like that as well. And he would, he'd go, hey, Pops, can we do this? Can we do that? And he would always say, well, I'm waiting on the Lord. And I go and ask him, hey, can we do this here? He would say, I'm waiting on the Lord. And I'm like, well, why we got to wait on the Lord when it's right there for us to do it right there, man? Why we got to keep waiting on the Lord all the time? And I was young, naive, didn't understand, but there was a reason behind why he waited on God. In essence, he wanted to make sure that every step that he made, it was ordered by God and that it was in the will of God. Regardless of what anybody felt, think, or said, or believed, that's what he stood on. And I think that's something that that he wants us to do as well, to be consistent with our faith walk, to live by faith. And if out of this whole event, this moment, that's the one thing that I can say that I had gotten from it, is that the importance of living by faith and living true to God's word. You cannot deviate, because even as our father was laying there in the IC, it just amazed me that he still had a sense of humor. It just amazed me that he was singing songs of Zion. I never forget when I asked him, I walked in the room and spoke to him, and he was kind of like in and out. And I said, Pop, sing me a song. And he started singing the song, Dear Lord, I appreciate it. I think that was the song, right? He started singing the song, Dear Lord, I appreciate you. He never, even in his discomfort, he didn't complain. He never stopped giving praise to God. Man, and that's just, to me, that was just remarkable strength. And even as we transitioned him out of the IC into, I don't even know how that happened. He's supposed to be in hospice care, but he wasn't. I don't understand it. And I mean, can you all just really relate to how God had his hand in this whole situation? Because it was amazing the day that we finally did assign him to go into hospice. The next day he was like, no, I'm not going into hospice. This is it.
It was actually the same day.
It was?
It was the same day, because that morning is when the hospice doctor came and said, okay, this is the day we're going to take him today. It was the same day. Daddy didn't want to be in hospice.
No, I thought we signed him up Wednesday.
Nope.
I stayed that night because he had 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
No.
Oh, they transferred. Okay. All right. Well, no matter what, the point is that he wasn't going in the hospice, and he made that clear. And there were some things that I was really praying, because just being very realistic. I'm glad that someone was there. Mom was by his side. She had someone. I think you was there, right, sis? When he took his last breath. Was it you that saw that?
Yeah. I was actually,
because I had just left.
Yeah, I had. Matter of fact, I had gotten there. I had gotten Mom something to eat, and I brought it to getting it to her. It was me, Tobias, and Mom. Mom was sitting in the recliner. She was sitting by the window doing her, her little her scriptural puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
And when I came in and I fixed Mom's food, it had been maybe about 30 minutes, I would say. I was talking to Mom for a little bit, and while I was talking to Mom, I came in and came by Dad by his side, and I was talking to him. You know how we are when we all coming in, we rub him down, we talk in his ear, had that conversation with him. And Dad he was resting there. And he had coughed one time. And so when I had went in the library room area where Tobias was, and I heard him, and I said, Mom, I just asked, I said, Dad, he's been coughing all month. She said, no, he's been fine. She was like, no, he was okay. He's doing great. And so I stood there a little bit just to watch him, and as I stood there to watch him, I saw, the breaths, kind of really just slowly in and out, in and out. And I walked from the sink and walked back, and Dad had took his last breath.
Wow.
And he did it. It's like he just slept away. He just slept away, and I, didn't want to bring any alarm to Mom or to Tobias, so I said in a nice voice, I said, Mom, I said, I think Dad, he's resting now. I don't think he's here anymore. And Mom said, you sure? So I went out there and I got the nurse. The nurses came in, they checked his vitals, and sure enough, Dad had slept away. Didn't make a peep, didn't make a sound, because Mom was saying, oh, he done slipped out of here. Oh my, and I just, but it was definitely something.
This is what I said, and this is my thought process, is that Dad knew that we were all there round the clock,
Right.
and
Right.
that it was always at least 5 to 10 of us there. And at one point, it was almost 20 of us there. He knew that we were always there. And I said, Dad just wanted to be, he didn't want everybody there. That he just didn't want everybody there. That was my thought. And that's how I took the process, because I said, Daddy actually is waiting on all of us to go home, because he said it twice.
He been, that's I mean, because
Y'all can go home.
yeah, because he been telling us that y'all go home. When he was able to speak, he kept saying, "Y'all could go home.
Y'all could go home. Y'all could go home," because he wanted to be by himself. And then there was one person that he was waiting on to come. And we can all deny it or don't, but he was waiting on one person to come see him and to make his final transition, and that was Tony. And I believe that wholeheartedly in my spirit. Even, and like you say, even to the last day, he was being comical because me and Rosin was in there and his lip was chapped. He still had a sense of humor, even though he wasn't talking to us. He heard us, and I said, Dad, I'm just gonna put this red lipstick on you, and I was putting it on him, and he went to blinking his eyes. He went to blinking his eyes like, don't put that red lipstick on me. So he went to blinking his eyes and blinking his eyes. So he could hear us. He knew what was going on.
Right.
Dad just wanted us to go home. He just wanted us to go home.
And Lana, you know what I can definitely say that morning, even while going in there and through that process, you literally felt a presence.
Yes,
There was a presence that was there. It was very quiet. It was very settled. You literally felt it. You did. And it just really it just gives you that assurance that God was in control of all of this. And I heard you say something like now that was, I believe you mentioned a reference to Dad about how it was him and God,
Yeah.
he controlled all of this. He
Absolutely.
controlled the whole entire process. We can't take credit for it.
No,
We
we
don't
can't.
take credit for
No,
it. It was between him and God.
absolutely.
Even from the time he went into that hospital, from the time that he went into the surgeries and the transitions
Mhm.
going into the hospice. Because, like you all say, that initial day of hospice was when he left.
When he,
He knew it was between him and God, and it goes back to what Tony was saying. He was a man of faith. He understood, and he had that communication with God a long time ago
right.
on what he wanted, and that's pretty much how it went. That's what he did. He went home with the Lord, and it was between him and Jesus. And he said, "God, I'm ready," And he was able to just. Some of us did not understand the transition of it all, or did not want to accept it because that's the natural part of us.
Right.
We don't want to accept it, but you know, him and God had a conversation. Him and Jesus talked, and everything that he asked for, that's exactly how it was. Even on down to the homegoing.
I,
You
I,
asked me.
I said, being one of the grands, I said I wanted to um, show show the work of God hand in this whole thing. Um, Even in this time of bereavement and sorrow, how God was like still amazing. And about Grandpa's faith, as Aunt Christina was alluding to, like I wanted to really pinpoint Grandpa's faith, even though we always heard him say, "Y'all, I might not be around here long, and God might call me home, and if He called me today, I'm ready." And us naturally, we don't want to hear that. Like, just be quiet, Grandpa, wrong time, and just let us do the do. Let's enjoy you. He go to crying, girl, speaking in tongues and all that kind of stuff. But what it did, it encouraged me to know that if I live for God, I can determine when I can lay down because I know where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? That encouraged me. Like,
Good.
I want to live so good. Like, y'all ain't basically what Grandpa said. Y'all ain't got to put no medicine in me when I'm ready to go. Me and Jesus gonna let this thing
That's great.
go, and
That's right.
I'm gonna be able to be like Enoch. I can walk away with God when I'm good and ready.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? That encouraged me, like, man, like keep living that way to where you live every day intentional. Like you don't gotta worry about if you die because you know you live for God. Like if He take me now, I'm good because I'm every move, every step I'm doing, everything I'm saying is intentional. Like so, it's a sad moment, but it's like that was the encouragement for me. Like your granddaddy, he told y'all like, listen, take all this out of me. When I'm ready, I can lay it down when I'm ready. You know, so that was my encouragement through the whole thing.
It's amazing, sis Elaine, that when we went to the house to get him, I didn't understand it then at that time. When we say, "Hey, okay, pops, it's time. You got to go to the hospital." You changing? No, I'm gonna wear my pajamas. Just give me my house coat. But what shoes you gonna wear? I'm gonna wear my slippers. It's almost like, okay, this is it. I'm coming down to the end of my journey.
He knew it.
He wasn't worried about no clothes or anything.
Mm-mm,
No,
mm-mm.
he yes. I'm like, you really going out the house like this? He didn't care. I think his mind was already made up, you know, and but I think all of us have I pray that all of us have really have gotten something from his transitioning and continuing to remember his life, the life that he lived. And as I stated to y'all, he may not have been a very wealthy man monetarily, but he was definitely wealthy in winning souls and touching lives for Christ, man. He was he was definitely on that. And so with that, I just give I just thank God for a life experience with him. He taught me something, and as I've shared with a couple of people, that I felt like I've learned more from the beginning of this process of his transitioning in these past couple of days than I may have learned from him in the past 15, 16 years. And it's all not so much that what you would obtain naturally so, but it's what God showed me in the spirit realm about him, about his life, about his walk, about the shoes that he walked in, because they were way bigger than a size 10. I'm telling you, I believe that's the size shoe he was wearing. But nevertheless, though, I'm so grateful to God for everything and just being able to have the type of father that we have. And we have so much, we can really hold our head up with honor and with let's see, what word would I use? With encouragement, man, because we're going to be sad. We're going to have those memories. We're going to have those moments. The processing for me was to just continue what he started. Just continue what he started, whatever that was, that which it was. Just continue to make sure that his legacy not only live in myself, but encourage it to live in the rest of my family. Any of you all have any final thoughts before we get off of here? No, no final.
Just once again, tell everyone thank you for your love, your
Yeah,
support, your cards, your financial contributions, your flowers, all of the love that has been shown to myself and my family, my mother. We love you all. We thank you for those that have just came by the house and checked on mom and sat with mom and everything. We thank you all for that. And those that have even say, you know what, because I spoke to someone today and it was like, I didn't want to bombard you all because you all know what you all were going through, but our prayers were there. If you weren't able to get in touch with us and you let us know that your prayers were there, we appreciate you all. I'm telling you, my family and I appreciate you all. And thank you all for celebrating our general with us on yesterday.
Yes,
We
yes.
greatly appreciate you all. I heard the balcony was packed, that there was no room in the balcony.
Wow.
That means a lot to us because that lets us know that Father, his life
Yes.
spoke for him.
Yes.
Because Father used to sing the song along with some friends of him, may the work I've done speak for me. And Father's life spoke for him. And we greatly appreciate you all. We love you all. We love you like Daddy love you. Someone asked me once before and said, I put up about my brother and I posted about Eric Snell. I think it was his birthday or something like that. And I said, my brother, and he was like, well, every time you post, you be talking about your brother. And how many of you all it is? Too many for me to count, honey. Too many for me to count, because that's what Dad taught us. He taught us family. He taught us loving each other. Now there's there's some folks that don't understand that, but that's how we are, and that's what he taught us. And we think and listen, we love our mother. We love our mother. We love our mother. My God, today we love our mother. Don't
Oh
get
yeah.
tricked.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm just happy. And also before we end this broadcast, I want to thank Miss Barbara. I want to thank my sister Christina, my sister Roz, and my sister Kathy for y'all again tolerating yours truly and singing that tribute that the Lord had given me to write to represent our dad. You all did an excellent job, especially in such a short notice. Super, super, super love. And even though I was expecting my older sister to sing it, but that's okay. That's okay. It got sung anyway. She backed out of it and
Yeah,
told me,
Barbara did a beautiful job.
yeah,
She handled it
yeah,
very well.
yes, I have,
Okay, so my daddy kicked in then,
yeah,
because Daddy will tell us in a minute that he doing something because he done heard the Lord say it.
okay, okay.
So I had to move the way God told me to move.
I,
I
I
can't
didn't
do
argue one bit. Yeah, hey, I had told you where I was at about everything from the beginning. I was in mama mode. That's it. Just making sure mama was good. That's all. As I knew y'all had the rest of it, and y'all were gonna do daddy well. And you all did. Everybody, I'm telling you, I'll be here all night thanking so many people for what y'all have done. But anyway, hey, thank you, Tony. Beautiful job yesterday bringing forth the word. We thank God for you. All our nephews, all our nieces. Can't forget our Aunt Louise and family from Carolina. Help me out, sis. Help me out, sis. Elaine, help me out. The ones out
cousin
there.
Anna,
Yeah.
from
Oh
Carolina,
yeah. See,
and
that's
her husband, my
mm,
mom's our mom's brother, Uncle James.
right, right.
Let's see, our
Latanya and
cousin
her family.
Latanya and her husband and their children, and our cousin Monica and her daughter, and our cousin Mimi, Mimi, and all of the Carolina folks, everybody
And
from Carolina
in New York, everybody.
and New York. They were there, all of our kin folks.
And
We thank God.
The Black
Huh?
Whales sending their tributes, contributions as well.
The Blackwells, yes, yes,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
don't forget a lot of the CFM family was
Oh
there
yeah.
too as well. A lot
Oh
of
Yes.
them
yeah. Oh
old family
yeah.
and
Yeah.
friends.
We had.
Oh my God, all the CFM old family members.
Yep.
Ooh,
Yep.
love y'all.
See, I'd have forgot half them people, man. I tell you, but it was a wonderful job, and we're gonna.
Definitely. Can I say something?
Yeah, sure, sweet.
All right, so we definitely want to give it back to the musicians for thank you for
Oh
setting
yes,
and
yes.
being in place. Gregory to Darius. I think his name Dave or something like that. I don't know his
David
name.
Minus.
Definitely want to thank them for just being in position and just give it back to Pastor Mark Cooper too as well. For
Yeah.
basically allowing us to be there at the utilize the church, the ministry. So
Yes.
thank you all so much.
Yeah.
That's it.
The
And
greatest.
grateful for the live streaming and everything.
Yes.
You right, sis.
Everything went well. Everything went well. So hey, without that, From the Nelson family to you all, we love you tremendously and we thank you, and we'll see you next week. God bless.
Yeah, don't forget my
to the King. Hallelujah. 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 To the King. Hallelujah. Come on, say it again. Hallelujah. To the King. Hallelujah. Oh, hallelujah. To the King. Hallelujah. The time has come. My work down here is done, and I'm going out to see the King. Joy fills my heart as I leave this world behind, and I stand at my Savior's feet. Don't worry about me. My soul